Marvel's Black Panther, the 19th installment in the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe. Set after the events of Captain America: Civil War, Black Panther follows the story of T'Challa, the newly crowned king of Wakanda, as he tries to navigate the geopolitical complexities that come with ruling a nation. His crown is challenged by an American mercenary named Eric Killmonger, who is revealed to be a long-lost member of the Wakandan royal family. Killmonger not only challenges T'Challa's legitimacy to the throne, but he also presents a new philosophy for ruling that challenges the traditions of this ancient sovereign nation. As of late, it seems that Marvel is finally starting to break the assembly line. They've shown an increased willingness to allow their creators to create without being constrained to the Marvel formula. Granted, Marvel is usually bringing in directors and writers that fit their style. Directors like James Gunn and Taika Waititi are natural fits, but in the case of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler is bringing a voice to the MCU that is yet to be heard. It's amazing to think that someone so young as Coogler was given the reins to a $200 million franchise. And at 31 years of age, Coogler has already shown a great sensibility when crafting stories based around complex characters and situations. And that's really what Black Panther is. T'Challa is a man who is caught in between two worlds, the old world and the new, old traditions being challenged by modern ways of thinking. The kingdom of Wakanda has become a great power because of their possession of vibranium, the strongest and most valuable metal in the Marvel Universe. It's the same metal that Captain America's shield is made out of.
How come it's not a standard issue?
That's the rarest metal on Earth. What you're holding there, that's all we've got.
Their unlimited caches of vibranium make them the most powerful country on the planet, but they have completely isolated themselves from the world. Instead of sharing their technology, they protect it for fear of it falling into the wrong hands. Within Wakanda, there are different factions that argue over whether Wakanda should step out of the shadows and share their tech, or just remain hidden. I love stories where the hero and the villain want the same thing, but have different ideas on how to get it. Both T'Challa and Killmonger want Wakanda to step out of the shadows and share their tech with the world, but T'Challa is more pragmatic. He understands that it's not as simple as saying, hey, look at us, we're the most powerful nation in the world, want to be our buddies? While Killmonger is far more militant. Their relationship is very similar to Professor X and Magneto from the X-Men franchise, two Marvel characters that were based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and you can't help but think that the relationship between those two historic figures influenced the relationship between T'Challa and Killmonger in Black Panther. It's a philosophical and at times physical battle for the future of this country that they both call home. Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan perfectly embody their competing characters. Boseman in particular could go down as one of the best actors of this generation. It appears that he is drawn to roles that have a certain social significance. Look at the characters he has played. Jackie Robinson in 42. This year he played Thurgood Marshall in the movie Marshall, and he also played James Brown in the movie Get Up, which was the performance for me that really put him on the map. T'Challa's arc in this movie is really dominated by his desire to be a good king. His father has a great line where he says, "You're a good man, it's hard for a good man to be a good king." There's certainly a difference. T'Challa wants to live up to the mantle of the Black Panther, but more specifically, he wants to build on the legacy that his father created. Like many men that came before him, he looks up to his father, he idolizes him. But he also has a moment of reckoning with his father's legacy, and also the legacy of his country. He has to deal with their mistakes and transition them into a new world, and it's a really hard position for this young new king to be in. With Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger, we have the best MCU villain to date. A lot of the Marvel villains are criticized for being shallow and one-dimensional. That is not the case with Killmonger. Killmonger is so well developed, he's not evil for the sake of being evil. He has a past that justifies his present course. I wouldn't mind sitting through a Killmonger origin story, to tell you the truth. There's so much that they can dive into. His past with the military, his life as a mercenary, him growing up in Oakland, California in the projects, all the pain and suffering he went through to become the man he is in Black Panther. It's really interesting stuff. And under all of his pain and suffering is idealism. He truly believes he is doing the right thing, and those are the best types of villains, the villains that feel that they are the good guys. There were times I even believed he was in the right, and he even changed the minds of some of the characters in the movie, characters who are honorable and just, but came to believe in the change that Killmonger was selling. Black Panther really feels like Marvel's first epic. At times it even feels like an Afrocentric Middle-earth or Westeros. It's the first film film within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that feels like it operates within a universe of its own. There are different royal families and factions competing with each other, old traditions meshed with futuristic technology. I can only imagine how epic a Wakanda HBO series would be. Imagine that, just call it Wakanda. There's so much potential for their history and lore and mythology. I don't know how people can complain that this movie is being too political. It's a geopolitical epic. This movie cannot not be political. It's about a kingdom that is reckoning with their history of isolationism and nationalism, and whether or not they are going to play a role on the global stage. I don't really think you can say that this movie is more political than the last two Captain America movies. They're obviously dealing with different issues. Those movies were more about the debate between security and freedom, which I guess in today's world that's an easier debate to have, but I don't know. This is what the movie is. And by comparison, T'Challa's role in Civil War feels so small and insignificant now. He's still my favorite part of the movie, but that was a very personal revenge story. The story in Black Panther is just so much bigger than that one character. The actual look of Wakanda is stunning. There are times when the CGI is noticeable and downright terrible, but overall I think Coogler and cinematographer Rachel Morrison deliver what I believe to be the best looking Marvel movie. There's a great contrast between the two color schemes that dominate the look of the film. On one hand you have vibrancy, oranges and yellows and light browns, all of these bright colors being contrasted with the natural beauty of the African nation. But it's really the use of the dark blues and purples that give the film its true visual identity. The cast of the movie is a great mixture of up-and-coming talent and then veteran actors who have won Academy Awards and Emmys, and there's so many great actors in this movie, and they all appear to be having the time of their lives. You can tell how much they care about the source material and the film and the impact that it's going to have. The women of Wakanda will steal your heart. Lupita Nyong'o was great, like she always is. Danai Gurira as Okoye, the badass military leader of the Wakandan Special Forces. And of course, Letitia Wright as Shuri, who everyone says is stealing the movie. She plays T'Challa's younger sister, and she's basically the Wakandan version of Reed Richards. She's a mad scientist that creates all of T'Challa's technology. She's basically like his Q, in a sense. And at times, the movie does feel like a Bond movie, especially the whole sequence in South Korea, which was probably my favorite action sequence of the film. It was also great to see Andy Serkis, like just to see him, you know, not covered in dots and playing King Kong or Caesar or Snoke. The dude is just an incredible actor. I think he would make a great Bond villain in the next Bond movie. And overall, to me, Black Panther is the best MCU film. It's my favorite Marvel film yet. It's a great geopolitical epic, and it's dealing with so many different themes like family, country, loyalty, history, isolationism, nationalism. It's not the heaviest movie in the world, but I think it might be the heaviest Marvel film. So I would give it a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend Black Panther. Go see it. And I can't wait for this comment section to be filled with optimistic and thoughtful, nuanced conversations about this movie, whether you liked it or didn't like it. Wink, wink.